Hey everybody, I have a new video for you today. This is the first video and project I have for you using the watermelon sugar kit from Clique International. I am guest designing for the month of July, so you'll see lots of projects using this kit because I adore it. So I'm showing you the photo. I knew that the first project I wanted to do was this picture of my son with his monstera plant that he has been growing. And I knew I wanted to use those metal embellishments. They're like almost a charm, and they are also the monstera leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and start by kind of cutting down some of these pattern papers. Some of these papers have a more kind of cream-based color tone to them. So I'm going to go ahead and create my layout on some white or starch white speckle tone paper from the cardstock warehouse. I was going to cut this with my trimmer, but I ended up not doing it. I kind of just freehanded it, and honestly, I don't mind at all. It's not perfect, but because of the way I had this layout set up, it doesn't matter that it's not perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my scissors and cut it kind of wonky and corner to corner, and it works perfectly. This one I'm going to cut a small square that is maybe like 4 by 4 and then cut it in half. And that way, I think maybe I cut it at 6 inches. I can't quite remember. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it again so we have some triangles because we're going to do a diagonal design with this layout today. So there are all my initial pieces that I want to use on my layout to create a pattern paper base. I'm going to start with this one, which is really cool. It's like a tie-dye. I love these tie-dye papers that are in this kit. They're super fun. I'm going to use my distress tool and my vintage photo distress oxide. But first, we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to grab a pencil and just mark where that paper ends so that I don't overstamp. I'm going to grab my swatch book and kind of go through my inks, decide which ones I think are going to work with my layout. I thought about doing yellow, but in the end I decided on Blush and Coast ink from Paper Person. It worked. They matched the best. This is one of the add-on stamp sets that you can grab separately in the shop. I'm going to use the 2 little circles, and what I'm doing is I'm just stamping kind of like a floating circles. I'm going to add more later, but for now I'm going to just add it into kind of like this, kind of flowing down from one area of my layout to another. And now I'm going to go ahead and distress my papers and add some vintage photo. So this is a really old distress tool for making memories. It's my favorite and I love it. And I know some people have found it on eBay. But it's really great. It works so well. I'll be sad when it stops working, if it ever stops working. I'm going to grab a sand eraser now and just kind of erase my pencil marks. And I'm going to use some vintage photo distress oxide ink to ink up just the torn edges. I didn't want to ink everything, but I just want to kind of draw attention to those kind of torn, roughed up edges. I'm going to start creating the background for this page by just grabbing my tape runner and getting these triangular sheets of paper all layered up. I'm going to go ahead and add that one down, and then I'm going to go and do the same thing with this leaf pattern paper and then also with that other triangle that I cut. So I'm just kind of making sure I have the placement right for this. And now I can just take one edge, distress it, and then I can add it to the bottom. And then I did the same thing at the top. I'm going to map my photo with another piece of that, I don't know what to call it. It's so cool. It's the paper, it goes from like a pinky to a blue color. Really, really pretty. I have 2 sheets of each of these papers, so I probably will go ahead and create layouts with them being more of a focal point. Grabbing my distress oxide ink and just inking up the edges of my photo, and then my photo can go right there. I'm going to pop my photo up using some foam tape just to give it a little bit of lift. And now we're going to work with these Monstera leaves. So I have some red line tape. I get my red line tape from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I get my phone tape from Spiegel Mom Scraps. You're going to see a lot of tape and a lot of popped things up. Pop dots, tabby dots on this layout. So the best way I found to do this was to give myself 2 layers of red line tape down the middle of each Monstera leaf and then kind of push it onto the paper, and that worked really, really well. And then I'm going to grab some hemp cord. I get this at a Cherry on Top. It comes in this big roll that you can use over and over again, and it's not in the twine category. It's called hemp cord. So when you go to search for it, you just need to type in the search box hemp cord and it pops up. I threaded the hemp cord through my little charms and then pulled it over the top of the page and around to the back. I adhered it both with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and then also with some washi tape. I just wanted to make sure that I could keep working on my layout without needing to wait for the glue to dry. So that worked out really well. And probably like by the time the layout was done, I really didn't need the washi tape, but I left it there. It's not hurting anything. And it helped to stabilize these charms while I was working on the rest of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and get the third one into place here. Same thing, 2 layers of the red line tape and then the hemp cord around the back. I knew as soon as I went through this kit, as soon as I bet if you watch the unboxing, I even say it during the unboxing, that this photo was definitely getting scrapbooked. And I was using these Monstera leaves. So if you're new to my channel, my youngest son is the crazy plant boy. He loves plants. He loves them. And he has quite a collection of plants. He puts them all over my house. He takes care of them. He's probably going to be a botanist when he gets a bit older. So we're just going to go ahead and encourage that because there's nothing wrong with growing plants. And this Monstera, we bought it for him and it was like this teeny tiny little baby, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's going to be huge pretty soon. So once I had that photo done, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my embellishments. Embellishing this page got to be a little hard. Well, not hard, but sometimes this is the first layout I did with the kit. And when you have all these embellishments, and let me tell you, this kit is jam-packed full of embellishments. There's like 3 or 4 packages of clear stickers, 3 or 4 packages of chipboard. There's flare, there's enamel dots, so many embellishments. And they're all like nice sized embellishments. There's also an ephemera pack that I didn't even get into or use for this layout, but I will use that in a coming layout. I'm going to go ahead and add some stickers just right here. And then I also have some chipboard to add. A lot of the first 2 layouts you're going to see me use primarily Studio 40's Lazy Day collection. I love this collection. It's so good. The colors are great. The sentiments are great. It's not pool-centric or water-centric. I always say this every summer. We don't do a lot of swimming or a lot of pool time here. So I kind of tend to shy away from the summer collections because they tend to be very, very kind of water-centric. So what I'm going to do here is I popped some of these tie-dye pieces up on I popped out the tie-dye pattern paper with my circle punch, and then I put some of the stickers on them just to bulk them up a little bit so they had a little bit more color, so they didn't blend in so much with the background. And then I did add some Distress Oxide ink to the edges, and then I'm going to pop up one of them using my foam tabs, my tabby dots from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Just kind of overlay them a little bit. And then again, I kind of really fluffed around with all these embellishments because there's so many of them. And, you know, you want to make the right embellishment decisions. You feel like you have to, you still need to be conserving embellishments at this point because you're kind of at the beginning of using up a kit. Yeah, you know, you've done it. You know you have. So I'm going to go ahead and add some chipboard. I didn't mind the chipboard from Studio Calico, so I'm not, if you've been around here for any length of time, you know how much I do not like, or not Studio Calico, Studio 40. You guys know that I'm not a big chipboard fan. I've not suddenly become a lover of chipboard. I still had to pull off the backs, and some of the adhesive wouldn't stick to the backs. It's just, that's how chipboard is. But some of the sentiments and different things were really, really good. I decided on that flare. You kind of see me, I'm really I just keep going through the embellishments over and over again. So once I kind of have my embellishments chosen and down finally, I'm going to add some of these, I'm not going to call them enamel dots. They're epoxy dots. They kind of remind me of gummy bears. They're kind of squishy. They're not super hard. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, they're like epoxy, and they're cute. They're so cute. The colors are really great, and they are really, really cute. So I'm going to sprinkle them around my page in different areas. I did kind of intentionally save some of these because I knew what my second layout would be, and I knew I wanted to use them. I'm going to come back in now with my stamp set. So I stamped at the beginning. Now that I have all of my embellishment clusters together and I know where they're going to go and I know how the page is kind of designed, I can go ahead now and add some more stamping. I didn't want to add too much last time, but I also kind of knew I was going to need to come back in with some more of these elements. So I'm going to come in with the circles, and then I'm going to come in with those dots. Same two colors, the blush and the coast from the paper person, and that's going to give us our nice little detail for the end of the layout and to fill out some of the areas that I thought just needed a bit more embellishment for your eye to be able to follow throughout the layout. I hope you have enjoyed this first video. Here are all of your close-ups. I will link any of the watermelon sugar kits that are available over at Clique International. I don't have a coupon code for you, but you can mention my name to Gia in the comments if you place an order to let her know I sent you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.